Right, Arsenal's hunt for the quadruple kept on rolling last night, breezing through into the Champions the league. Last 8, of course.
Well read by Rice. Rice coming forward. Right-footed effort. Oh, it is in. And that'll be that. Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League quarter-finals. That is a job really well done. Arsenal beat Leverkusen by 2-0 to book a quarter-final tie with Sporting Lisbon.
The soul of the team, I think, the manner that they go for every ball, the passion that they show in every action is remarkable. And doing it every 3 days at that level is so difficult.
Ali, just on Arsenal, gone on the Premier League.
Yep.
Have they, in your opinion, it's not done yet, but have they deserved it? Or have the other teams sort of not gifted it, but
Arsenal
helped them?
Arsenal have 100% deserved it to be where they are at this moment in time. Yes, there's still a little bit of football to play. I think if they win the cup on Sunday, I know it's a crazy thing to say because it's a different tournament, but I think if they win the cup on Sunday, that's the league over as well.
Yeah, I think the league's over.
Well, yeah.
I think that City 2-2 with Forest.
Yeah.
Pep must have been on that touchline saying, "Do not concede. Do not concede. Let's make them earn this."
Look at City's recent form now. Beaten by Real Madrid twice, draws at Forest, draw at West Ham.
Yeah.
It's
not good enough.
It's not title winning. Whereas Arsenal.
So what about Pep's future? I've said before, he looks agitated.
He does, mate.
On the line.
He does not look. I don't know. So, does he look happy where he is? Clearly, he's not going to be happy with his team's performing. I get that. But he just doesn't look the same. He doesn't look the same Pep to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know whether. The results will clearly be frustrating him. I get that and I understand that. I'm saying Pep doesn't look the same Pep. Man City don't look the same Man City. Never mind Pep look the same Pep.
And also, on an Arsenal, on a positive, they grind results. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. I don't get this. I really don't get it.
No, nothing wrong with it.
Arsenal, up to this point, effectively, have not put a foot wrong this season. Okay, lost a couple of goals, a late goal at Wolves, for example. But in the grand scheme of things, lost a game against Manchester United. That was the last defeat. How many games that was? They lost the game up at Liverpool, Sloboslai's free kick, which was genius. Won every league game in their European Champions League campaign. Excuse me, guys. They've only had one draw, and that was in Leverkusen. Then they won again.
Yeah.
They're in the final of the League Cup. They've got a draw. Where are they? At the FA Cup, I think they're at Southampton.
Yeah.
Alan, whether people like it or not, they have not put a foot wrong.
And to be fair, Eze, whether you say, oh, no, he's now come of age, he's still scored some very important goals when he has played.
100%.
Great. I've said before, he's elegant with an unbelievable strike on him.
Alan, I mentioned it in the comms last night. He had a strike of the ball before the goal that was brilliant. It got blocked. It's one of these ones, mate. You know what it's like. The ball gets headed out for the corner and it comes up at an awkward height. You know that way he's got to kind of shape his body to smash it and keep it down. What a hit it is. And power. And it gets blocked. But it's one of them, you look at it and go, what a technique. I just think he's a wonderful striker of the ball.
You made a good point as well. Declan's ball, his goal.
Oh, mate.
That was outside the post and curled in.
If Eze doesn't score that goal last night, we're talking about Rice all day, about his performance and his goal. I mean, his goal was a different level. See when you see it, we saw it from behind that goal, and it starts outside the post, and it just curls in at the last minute. Goalkeeper's got absolutely no chance. That aside, Declan Rice's overall play was terrific.
So we're spoken about Pep. What about Liverpool? What is going on there?
I know, mate. I know. A lot of the fans are kind of, if not turning, they're saying, wait a minute, what is going on up there? I
can't work it out.
Do you know something? I think they'll be all right tonight, right? But it's a massive game, mate. I'm telling you right now, it's a massive, massive game. I think they will have enough. I mean, I hope they've got enough, and I think they will have enough.
We need them through, don't we?
Of course we do. 100% we do. But they've had key players out and probably just importantly, if not more importantly, key players not playing well at all.
Okay, back to Arsenal. The Gunners, of course, take on City Sunday. Carabao Cup final. You doing that, Ali?
No, I'm not, mate.
Oh, you're not, right? God, what's up? One of the competitions you don't work. Live on talkSPORT, though, as they look to bag the first trophy of the season. So let's get some more on Arsenal's quadruple bid. Let's say a very good morning to co-host of the Arsenal Opinion podcast, Johnny Cochran. Johnny, very good morning.
Johnny, good morning, mate.
Hello there, gents. How you doing?
All good, Johnny. Johnny's all going swell at the moment. And this is another big game. And it's a game that, crikey, Pep looking for a bit of revenge. Whereas, Arsenal, the way things are going, Mikel will be delighted.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all eyes on the Carabao Cup final now. But, you set it up perfectly there, gents. We're going for 4 competitions right now. And I don't think it's too rude to be suggesting that we're in with a credible chance of all of them. Pep Guardiola is in a situation where I think he's coming to the end of his cycle at Man City now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not there next year. And what I actually think is quite interesting is how it constantly links back to the fact that there's this whole idea of the master and the apprentice, channel your Star Wars lore here, where Arteta has come through. And I think the only thing that keeps Pep interested these days is having a worthy adversary to go against. Klopp obviously no longer in the league. And I think that Pep has realised that the apprentice has overtaken the master at this stage. I think Arteta is operating at a different level. We respect the legacy that Pep's created. And I think this is the first time where you'd look at it and say, we head into a cup final against City where we're the outright better team. We've got better players all over the pitch. Granted, they have a few injury issues, and I don't fear them, not in the slightest. I think we can get the job done. And as Ali suggested, this might be a little bit of a weather vane for how our quadruple push goes. Because if we do take them down, I think that you might find that City's, they start to crumble. Obviously, going out of competitions in the space of a week can do that to a team, and I think the league will follow in due course. So, really exciting time for the Arsenal.
I know we're going to talk about Arsenal, but Ali, you feel that there's a chance when we're talking about Liverpool, and Man City, Manchester United, if they keep this run going.
I don't think it's without the realms of possibility that if, Johnny, like I think will happen, I think if Arsenal win the Cup, I think it might have the same way, the exact same way when that ball hit the back of the net on Saturday, run about 7 o'clock, right, Gyökeres in the 93rd minute. The effect that has in the Manchester City dressing room, never underestimate that, because they're going out to play West Ham. By the same token, I think if Arsenal win on Sunday, I think again it could have an effect on the Manchester City dressing room. And I think Manchester United, the massive thing it is, and it is a massive thing, 1 game a week, not in any of the cups, I think they'll continue their form, and I think they'll come up the league. But getting back to you, Johnny, I think people are scared to talk about quadruples. We generally speaking don't do it, but
you just need a bit of bad luck later stages.
Yeah, but the Champions League's on at the moment, because effectively there's only one team capable of beating you in the league, and it doesn't look as though that will happen. Sunday's clearly massive. You've got FA Cup down at Southampton. You look at it logically and say, the Champions League is the big one. But again, Johnny, and the question I've got written down for you, have you ever seen a stronger squad, never mind at Arsenal, anywhere in the country?
Well, I think there's a couple of points here. Number one, I think we're in a situation where I don't think it's hyperbole to be talking about us as having 3, 4, maybe 5 of the best players in the world in their position. We've got Phil and Grant, as I call them, at the back, Big Gabby and Big Bill Saliba, the best in the business. There really is no sane argument against that these days. A centre-half pairing that are just absolutely superb. Declan Rice, you mentioned it in comms, Ali, yesterday. Obviously, you have to be a little bit more restrained in legacy media. I don't in the podcast world. He's the best midfielder in the world. And we're seeing a guy now who is doing the kind of stuff that we saw Rodri doing a few years ago, and that guy scooped up the Ballon d'Or. He's taking over games in big moments. If you need goals, he's got it. His distribution is elite. His, delivery is sensational. And David Raya, there is not a better goalkeeper in the world. There's
Tremendous.
no question about that. Jurrien Timber's the best right back in the world. So when you start fleshing out those, you know, that's a kind of critical mass. If people want to know why are Arsenal so great, it's because they've got a core of the world leading players in their position. And then you don't necessarily need the best players in the world around them. You just need very good players, which we have as well. So we've got next man up. At the moment, just a team full of T2 Terminators. Everyone who's coming in is a unit and not scared about, you know, physicality. We can't be bullied like we used to be when the likes of Stoke or Burnley would pester us. That can't happen anymore. So I think that Arteta has gone about his task of getting us back to the elite stage, the top tier, and he's built it upon getting physical athletes who are very, very technically proficient and have mentality. And it was always going to be tricky getting over the hurdle, you know, of a big trophy. But once one happens, I think it could cascade and we could start seeing multiple successes in short order.